khalas, he's cooked, right? He's marinated and he's cooked enough. You're just maybe gonna fix a few things.
Or in the beginning of their college years.
Once the shahawats, once the desires overtake, they eclipse the light in the heart. I don't know. So here's another example. Hamza Hussein says, if you take out PhDs, no one notices, but take out school teachers, what do you have? What do you have? So let's now go in a person's religious path. Let's say someone enters Islam at the age of 35. That first teacher he has, it's still the same. By analogy, it's the same thing, right? That first teacher is so important. When he's 55, khalas, he's cooked, right? He's marinated and he's cooked enough. You're just maybe gonna fix a few things. But that first teacher that he has, that first influence, may be extremely detrimental, right? It could be extremely beneficial, depending. That's why that first teacher is so important. And it kills me to see sometimes some brothers get in touch with some influential person who entered Islam, but they literally drive him mad. They just drive him into a desert. They literally drive him into a place with no nourishment. Their religion there is no juice to it. It's just stricture and no spirituality to it. No common sense sometimes even. So that person then suffers. From 35 to 40, who knows if they keep their Islam or not. And that you see that happening all the time. Now for what is the khitab of this verse to somebody who has advanced and someone who is years and decades in the path of Allah? Then this verse means وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا, those who strived in our cause. Khalas, now Allah selected you as to have a big role to play in your family or community in your world. لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا, it's now the paths of paradise. That this person now can enter from any of the doors of paradise he wishes. Let's take a look at, so depending on where a person is in the spiritual journey and the path with Allah, this ayah will hit differently for them. أخبرنا علي بن أحمد الأهوازي قال أخبرنا أحمد بن عبيد الصفار قال حدثنا على عباس ابن الفضل. He says, from Ali ibn Zayd, from Abi Nadr, from Abu Sa'id, from Abi Sa'id al-Khudri, سئل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن أفضل الجهاد. The Prophet was asked on the greatest jihad. The greatest jihad. قال كلمة عدل عند سلطان جائر ودمعت عينا ودمعت عينا أبي سعيد. There's a typo here. There's two harakat on the meme. دمعت عينا أبي Sa'id. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in this hadith narrated by Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, and Ibn Majah, what is the greatest jihad? He said, to say the truth in front of an oppressive ruler. That is the greatest jihad. To say the truth in front of an oppressive ruler. وسمعت الأستاذ, who is the Shaykh of Sahib al-Risala, Imam Abdul Karim al-Qushayri, Abu Ali al-Daqqaq. Abu Ali al-Daqqaq is the name you'll see all over the book. Okay. I heard our teacher, Abu Ali al-Daqqaq, say, من زين ظاهره بالمجاهدة حسن الله سرائره بالمشاهدة. All right. So if you this is essentially what the spiritual path entails. You put the effort forth, you put the struggle forth, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lets your inner eye see the truth. See the truth of what? It's the truth of whatever it is that you're looking for. Some people, the truth to them is, was my dua accepted? Some people, the truth for them is, what is the sound aqidah? Some people, the truth for them is, where do I go study? Or what should I do with myself now? So the truth in that regard is slightly different for each person based on where they're at. I shouldn't say the truth is different. No, the truth that they're seeking is a different truth. One may be a totally personal truth. Most of us in the beginning of our path, we don't know which path is right, like which group within Ahl Sunnah is right. And then there's like a gray area. Are these people even of Ahl Sunnah? Are they innovators? We don't know that, right? So that's the truth that we need. Later on in life, you don't ask those questions anymore. Now you need other truths specific to yourself. What should I do with myself? Should I go here or there? Just like what you're happening right now.
That's true.
So whoever struggle on the outside, you don't struggle after spirituality and spiritual opening has come to you. No, you struggle beforehand because you believe with your mind, this is what Allah wants me to do. This is what Allah wants me to do. This is what Allah loves. This is what I'm going to do. Now I do it, and Allah Ta'ala opens a door for me. And for us, mujahada begins, spiritual struggle begins with something small. But you hack away at it daily. For some people, I'm telling you, don't underestimate anyone in, like sometimes we in masajid and we live the masjid life and we're in the masjid dealing with human beings more than we are online, right? Some people are only online. They dominate the internet. But then they go home and there's nothing, and there's no masjid, there's no nothing. Allah has blessed us with the ability to have a masjid, which we be thankful for. That lets us do what we want to do in it. We have to be extremely grateful for that, because you actually get much more mentally and spiritually and emotionally healthy in a masjid with people than this virtual stuff. This virtual stuff, I love it only because it's balanced out. That's why I can take any amount of incoming, mostly. I don't want to say any. When we get the not trolls, haters, and incoming and hate, it's actually really easy to handle it if you have physical people to go to who don't even know what's going on, right? That's the beauty of it. Local masjid, no one has a clue, even that you're online. That's the beauty of it. You see these guys, and you enter into their world now. You see these older guys, you enter into their world. He has no clue even what your Twitter handle is, right? Let alone that it's on fire. He has no clue. And that, when you're there, like, oh, that world, that Twitter world, it's a small world of irrelevant. It's not relevant to real life, right, to me. And boom, just like that, within 30 seconds, it's all gone. It's deflated, right? It's drained out. And you realize the actual physical humans that I deal with, they don't even know. They don't even care, right? So balance is so important. Having a physical masjid to go to. But mujahada should be, so when I go to these masajid, people tell me all the time, you, with the students of knowledge and all that stuff, you're around good people all the time. At least people who know stuff. But I'm telling you, in the back of the masjid, I know a guy who doesn't pray properly. He doesn't make wudu properly. He just committed zina last week. So bring it down a little bit. Go back to the basics a little bit, because a lot of people are at that level. And of course, all of us at some point were at that level. So we shouldn't even be so shocked. Like, why are you so shocked? Everyone was at that level, right? It's just it's out of your memory now. You just don't remember it. Literally, a guy said to me one Jum'ah, he said, you gave like this khutbah about some topic, can you remember? And he said, I'm telling you, the guy next to me, can you give a khutbah on the prohibition of zina? Zina. Right? The guy next to him says, yes, he does commit zina, but he treats her well. In his mind, he put together his own structure of right and wrong, not knowing, you can't do that in Islam. He said, yeah, but I treat her well. It's having a girlfriend's haram because you treat her badly, but I take care of her, right? And what's the big difference? What is the difference whether I do that or I come to the masjid first and say qabiltu ajibtu whatever, right? Zawajtuki qabiltu. Okay, maybe someday I'll do that. Get some good deeds. That's what he thinks. Somehow, that's what he thinks. Remember we were talking about your friend the other day, your old friends, when they watch anime and music and the stuff they say, they have no clue that the words you utter matter. Right? And people sitting there like, well, what if God was this? And what if God is that? And if I died and I'm going to talk to God. But he has no clue that these things matter. And that's why we cannot be so highfalutin and not even realize that this is happening, then we can address it and talk to it properly. Your comments on that?
No, I was just going to say the people become lost in the fact that